Scouting area. We have spotted nothing to the report. Wait a minute. What's that coming? Whap! 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 Dino Penguin Exterminators. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're continuing our look at some Kingdom toys. This time around we have Waspinator. Waspinator, of course, is a fan favorite character. He's one of those, he's a Predacon, but he's one that often seems to end up on the wrong side of everything. And as such has had to be rebuilt almost constantly after his many attempts in battle. Waspinator is a character also that is known for contemplating and questioning the purpose of his existence and life in general due to his many failures. Something that many of us can relate to. Actually, I have not revealed this yet on the channel, but for the past few weeks, I have been a little bit out of normal due to the fact that I ended up quitting my job because I was involved in a scam, and I ended up losing my job of nearly 16 years. But I've got a positive notion due to the fact that some things are turning around. So, this little windfall may be about over for me, so here's hoping that things do turn out well. But hey, enough about me. We're here to talk about Waspinator. And of course, another thing about Waspinator that's made him popular has been his voice actor, Scott McNeil. Prolific voice actor in the Transformers world and the anime world as well. Transformers Wikia even tries to claim that Mr. McNeil is also certifiably insane. That part I do not know, as I have not met Scott McNeil, but well, if he's certifiably insane, then he's going to fit in with us that are Transformer fans. We're all a little crazy ourselves. Now, all in all, this toy is interesting looking, to say the least for me. So, I mean, I never really saw the original Beast Wars version, so I've got nothing to compare him with. But I will say that he does look rather on the interesting side. Having the insect legs sticking out is somewhat reminiscent of many of the deluxe Insecticons that were available in the Generation 1 era, since many of them really didn't have decent ways to hide the insect legs very well. Unfortunately, on the G1 versions, those were often the most fragile points on those toys, and many of them would wind up broken. I would imagine that probably was also true in the Beast Wars era as well. But still, I would exercise some caution, because even though the plastic may be better, I still wouldn't trust it. At any rate, let's take a look at Waspinator's lone accessory, and that is his stinger. It, of course, is not sharp at all. Boink, boink, boink. See, not sharp. So you're not going to really hurt yourself on it, but it does have something of a point, so do be careful. I mean, it's slow speeds that I'm hitting it with. It's not penetrating anything, but let's say you fall on it. Yeah, you could hurt yourself. So do be careful with that. As you can see by the way that it does have a nice post here at the bottom, that's how it connects to him in Wasp Mode. And it also allows him to hold it like a gun in Robot Mode. And that is, of course, all of his accessories. So we'll take a look now at the robot's articulation. And let's see, we can turn his head from side to side very easily. And his head does rock up and down a little bit. It doesn't do very much. His arms can raise out to about there. And the arms do rotate at the shoulder fully. His arms can be bent at the elbow 90 degrees. And he does have rotation at the wrist. So you can rotate his arms at the wrist. And he does have rotation at the bicep. So he also has G.I. Joe's battle grip. He can be twisted at the hips. He just doesn't do it very well due to the mandibles on the wasp head. They do run up against his waist piece. His legs can be spread into a full splits as his body separates. And hey, no fancy showing off. The Olympics ended months ago. You aren't qualifying for the gymnastics team. And we can raise his leg up at the hip about 90 degrees, and he can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. Actually, with the way his leg is set up, he can bend his leg the other way 90 degrees as well at the knee. And by golly, does that look painful. And of course, his ankles can be turned inwards. So all in all, Waspinator, for all of his faults, does have quite a lot of articulation going for him. Okay, let's transform Waspinator. The first thing they have us do is we go down here to his chest and we put the two halves of the bug head and push them together. Then we're going to come up here and we separate his head area from the back. Like so. Trying to keep the waist piece together. It doesn't necessarily want to stay together very well on my sample. Then we're going to fold the head up. Because they're right in here. Right in there, just beyond the insect head. Between the insect head and the robot head, you'll see there's a little hole in there. And this little tiny tab of a post right here should connect. That may take a little finagling. But there we go, we got it in there. So it should perpetually have his arms up in an I surrender pose. But we're going to want to rotate those arms down. And then we fold them in at the shoulders. Kind of like so. And then we'll rotate the arms at the bicep. So that they're like that. And then you're going to take his hands, and we'll turn the hands at the wrist so that his hands point downwards. And then this way we can bend them at the elbows. Because you'll see here on his hand, just above his hands, right at the wrist, there's a little post, little tiny post there. Well, there's a little tiny hole right about there, and that's where you're trying to line the post up with, so that it will secure his arm in place. There we go. Managed to get it for both of them. No, not quite. There we go, that's better. Now we got it in. That'll get his arms in place. Now we can separate the lower torso and stretch it out, because then we're going to rotate it. Then you'll come down here to his feet. The back portions of his feet you're going to fold over so it merges with the other half of the foot. Then you'll take the entire foot section and you're going to fold it backwards. This must be some impressive yoga to be doing to do that. Alright, once we got his feet folded back, you should be able to attach them together. Make minute adjustments if you have if you have to get it to work. Then, of course, once you've done that, you'll want to make sure the insect legs are folded out neatly and rotated downwards. Then we're going to come back up here to the upper body. You want to fold it down so that the colorful stinger area is finally merged together. And we're going to bend his knees and try to rotate everything together so that we can get the upper legs to lock into place back here, like so. And then get the connection points that are on the front portion of the feet. If we can get this to lock in. There we go. Now that's snapped in. These grooves that are here, just above the feet, can't see that very well, can you? Right there, should line up and connect into some of the holes on the chest. You just got to make sure everything lines up nicely. It does take a little effort. Doesn't help that the insect limbs keep getting in the way. There we go. Then we just adjust the legs and the wings. And of course, insert his stinger. And there you have it. Waspinator is in his Wasp Mode. And unfortunately, like all the insect transforming characters, he is ugly. He is ugly in this mode. But you do get to move the wings, which is kind of a nice option. You do at least get that, and you rotate the front legs pretty well. The back two, unfortunately, only move as a single unit, so you don't really get a whole lot with them. Oh, and the antenna do turn as well, so you can stylize the antenna however you wish. All in all, I think I can hear the sounds of several young boys out there wanting this toy now, just so that they can scare and gross out their sisters. Just a feeling I get. The males of the species haven't changed all that much since 1979. Of course, you ask some of the women around here, they'll say it's been longer than that. Any rate, now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Waspinator? Waspinator's an interesting character, and judging by the fact that throughout his history, he's had the pleasure of having the same voice actor, that definitely is a testament to the popularity of the character. So, I am glad to say that we have a new version of this classic character, and the toy itself isn't too bad. There are a few hiccups in dealing with the transforming of him, but they aren't too terrible. Once you get a little practice with him, it's not too bad. All in all, the only thing I'd really be worried about is some of the thinner areas of plastic getting stress-worn from rough play. There is always that possibility that could happen, and it does worry me a mite, but I still wouldn't use it as a means of discouraging people from going out and trying to find this toy, if you so desire to have him. Of course, I just now noticed something here. There's a different little color difference here from the box. The box kind of depicts that there should be some yellow paint on his shoulders, and, that area is right here on the toy, and it does not have that. So, obviously the prototype intended to have considerably more yellow paint on him than what we got in the final product. So, I think we got gypped on yellow paint here, folks. But at any rate, that concludes my review on Waspinator. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you did, or even if you didn't really, I would still like to ask all of you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel, because we do put out Transformer videos every week. This is Sparkster1701, reminding you that although Waspinator feels himself as a failure and a potential loser to the Predacon cause, none of you out there should feel that way, because all of you are awesome in any way. Just find what makes you awesome, and that should keep you in good spirits. That's what's helping me get through the unemployment phase that I'm going through now, and I hope that somewhere out there this helps some of you. So, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all later.